Assalaamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope all of you in good condition. Welcome to my video. My name is Anisa Zafira from class 5A. I'm a student at Department of Mathematics Education in Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta Islamic University. My identity number is 1119017000025. In this video, I'll take you guys to solve some problems. Let's check it out. So, let's jump right in the number 1 here. Look, Zafira walked 2 quarters mile yesterday morning and 3/8 mile yesterday afternoon. What was the total distance walked by Zafira? And the second question is, Zain has 2 bags of balls. Each bag has 14 balls. If 3/4 of the balls are blue, what is the total number of blue balls in the bags? What do you think about their problems? Yeah, today we are going to learn about fraction operation of contextual problems. Before that, I want to show you some keywords to make it easy for you to decide what operation you will use. Remember, this keyword is usually located at the end of the sentence, namely the question. Here, you can look there are keywords for addition. The first is total and the second is habitual. Next, there are keywords for subtraction. The first is how much more and the second is how much is left. Next, there are keywords for multiplication. They are of something, double, triple, times, and whole. And the last, there are keywords for division. They are how many batches, how many pieces, equally shared, and equally split. Next, I want to show you some problem-solving strategies of fraction fraction. Step 1 is, what are the facts? Step 2 is, what is the problem? Step 3 is, what operation do you use to solve this problem? And step 4 is, what are the steps to answer this and solve it? Okay, now we are going to be talking about some problem-solving strategies for previous contextual problem. We have this first problem. So, very first step is identifying some facts. From step 1, you can figure out what facts. Are you on the right track? So, our first one is that Zafira walked yesterday. So you say that's pretty simple, but that's a great starting point. At least now you're trying to picture maybe where she walked to the school, to a friend's house, to the store, and whatever. She was walking there 2/4 mile in the morning and 3/8 mile in the afternoon. So maybe she walked to school in the morning but then walked to a friend's house in the afternoon. Next, step 2, what is the problem? So in step 2, we have to identify what the problem is. And we have to figure out the problem is identified with the question mark here. In our problem, what is the total distance walked by Zafira? And so, if you can identify what the problem is, you will complete step 2. Which means that you're almost halfway there in solving this word problem. Next, step 3. What operation do you use to solve this problem? In step number 3, we got for what operation are we using? And we could look at the question again. The question was with the question mark obviously. And we figure out what's the total distance. So, total distance means we are adding. We're going to be adding these two fractions together and arrange them below. So we're going to set it up as 2/4 plus 3/8. So you can see we haven't solved anything yet, but we're just setting ourselves up to be very successful in solving this problem. Next, step 4. What are the steps to answer this? Now, we have what are steps to answer this question. We know that we need to make common denominators first. We'll add our numerators together, but we're going to keep denominator the same. So, whatever we met with common denominators in this first part, we're going to keep the denominators the same. So now we actually have to solve it. Here we go, let's go and change the quarters. When you have fractions that are over 8 is our common denominator. So for 2 quarters, we're going to multiply the denominator and numerator by 2. 4 times 2 gives us 8. 2 times 2 gives us 4. 3 over 8 is already good to go. So we're going to just go ahead and add our numerators together. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And our denominator, since their common denominator is 8. So the total distance Zafira walked was 7 over 8 miles. Okay, now we have the second problem. So, what are the facts? Zen has a lot of balls. He also has 2 bags. Specifically, each bag has 14 balls. 3 quarters of all the balls are blue. So, we have some different facts here. Next, step 2. What's our problem? We should have to figure out how many blue balls he has and he's not telling. So we can do some simple math to figure that out. Next, step 3. So what operation we're going to do to solve this problem? First is we have a couple steps here. We're actually going to multiply all whole numbers together. And then we're going to multiply whatever we get in step number 1 by fraction. So we're actually going to do 2 times 14 first, and then we're going to take whatever this number we got right here, that is going to be our whole number for when we multiply by 3 quarters. So in step number 4, what are the steps? We obviously need to multiply the first step and we take the number. You get from step number 1 multiply by 3 quarters, and we need to make sure that when we multiply by 3 quarters that the whole number turns into an improper fraction. And always at the end, after you do multiplying the fraction, we need to simplify that. So let's go, we're going to solve the first part. 2 times 14 gives us 28 total balls. Now we're taking our total balls, we're going to multiply that by 3 quarters. And so we're going to do 28 over 1 times 3 quarters. If we multiply across, we have 4 the denominator, and with our handy calculator, 28 times 3 gives us 84. Now we need to figure out we have this improper fraction. We need to make this into a mixed or whole number fraction. We can do that is with long division. I'm going to do it underneath the problem for in 84, and we end up with 0 remainder. So we can say that there's going to be 21 blue balls. And also in this objective, you can use a calculator if you want to give it a try. 84. So type that in, first press the division sign and then the number 4, and you get a whole number. Then you are in great shape for this. But if you end up with a decimal, then you have to figure out what the remainder is to create a mixed number. And so just recap really quickly, we have two steps that we did here. We did step number 1, figuring out the total number of balls. Then we end up with multiplying that by 3/4. Get us the variant, figure out the out of the 20 balls, there are 21 blue balls. Okay, I think that's enough. I hope it is useful for all of you, and I'm sorry there were a mistake. I thank you for watching. Finally, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.